which like no one wants to get spit out, so it's a reasonable reaction. But Gannon also puts it 55 miles. Gannon probably puts it harder than you throw it, so
A bad day of business was taking the moped to the post office. A good day of business was if I had to take the '94 Ford Explorer here to the back docks at the United States Postal Office. I knew there was going to be, had I not made the decision to go down the path of being a part of House of Discs. And 400,000 went to 800,000, 800,000 went to 1.2 million, 1.2 million went to 1.5 million, I think, and went from 1.5 million to 2 million, and then to 2.5 million, and then finally we went to 2.8 million over the next several years. I think we utilized all those funds in the matter of a couple weeks. I don't have the exact discount anymore, but I'm sure that we're somewhere over probably around 1.5 million discs that are.
Did you say 1.5 million?
1.5 million probably that are in here. My dude.
How are you?
Good. How you doing?
This place is sweet.
Welcome back to Emporia. We know you've
Thank
missed
you.
us.
Who wouldn't miss this place? So congratulations first off on having this place. Obviously it's a pretty big accomplishment. Took a big investment and probably some good promise from somebody to help you keep track of this place.
That's right.
But overall, how's it been?
It's been wild and crazy. It's been a new adventure. Every day is something a little bit unexpected, but it's been really fun and really cool to see come together, and it's obviously great to have the Disc Golf Pro Tour in Emporia this week.
So was something that helped you kind of justify this purchase was being less involved in DD, and obviously I don't know the details, maybe they're out there, maybe they're not, maybe you'll tell this video, but obviously there's a monetary exchange from House of Disc taking over. Did that open up the funds for you to do this, or open up the time or the energy, or because I know you and I had been texting back and forth about you getting this place for a while, then the acquisition probably made this more possible. Is that kind of what your thought process here? Give you another project?
Yeah, you nailed it.
Sweet. It's like I know you pretty well.
Yeah.
But if you guys don't know, obviously this is Jeremy Rusco, owner. Well, what would be are you no longer owner? What would your
founder of Dynamic Discs?
Okay, no longer owner.
And partial owner in the new company House of Discs.
Okay.
And so reinvesting on the House of Discs board of directors. So.
And then now full owner of Champions Landing, old country club, Emporia Country Club. So it's very involved in disc golf. Helped from the ground level. Sponsored Macbeth, sponsored me for a certain period of time. Sponsored. Had Dynamic Discs. So done a lot of great things. So we're gonna drive around, show us some of the property, show us some of your ideas, ask you some of those tough questions that you love.
Let's do it.
Let's jump right into it.
So yeah, I got introduced to disc golf in 2002 at Fort Hays State University when I went there for my first 2 years of college, and ended up transferring to Emporia State University in Emporia, Kansas, and ended up starting Dynamic Discs as a little college-based eBay hobby. We're just pulled up here on Emporia State University, which is essentially our neighbor at Champions Landing, and I actually remember working on my first order with Discraft for what was going to become Dynamic Discs eBay store. I did it up here at the business hall, Kramer Hall, and was working on that order. Chose Discraft, went with Discraft because the local pro, Eric McCabe, was the one who was obviously the best disc golfer in Emporia, and the guy that could park pretty much every hole in town, where it usually took me 4 or 5 throws.
Oh, you're not that bad.
Well, maybe back then I was. So anyway, ordered 100 discs for the little eBay hobby, and we will take you to the first house where those discs actually ended up showing up for sale. So we're gonna just kind of cruise by the local bank that took a chance on me and Dynamic Discs. So from 2005 to 2012, Dynamic Discs was / Jeremy Rusco, a debt-free company. 2012, we really decided to grow and expand and to scale up and grow quicker. it takes capital, takes money, and reached out to one of the local banks, and the process seemed, it was a little discouraging, a little frustrating. Decided, you know what, I don't need funding, I don't need the money. But then a couple weeks later, it was the real deal, where definitely to scale up and grow quicker, I realized we were going to need some funding. And so I reached out to another one of the banks in town, ESP Financial, and one of the representatives, business bankers, came to Dynamic Discs on 912 Commercial Street, was super impressed with not only the Dynamic Disc operation, which was not really that impressive at the time in a lot of regards, but he was really impressed with where disc golf was going. He had done his research, and definitely could see that disc golf was on a growth trajectory, and ended up asking for a $100,000 line of credit. Ended up getting approved for a $200,000 line of credit. Thought that would be more than I would probably ever need, but I think we utilized all those funds in the matter of a couple weeks. $200,000 line of credit went to $400,000, $400,000 went to $800,000, $800,000 went to $1.2 million, $1.2 million went to $1.5 million, I think, and went from $1.5 million to $2 million, and then to $2.5 million, and then finally we went to $2.8 million over the next several years, as we needed to scale up and really grow the organization. That didn't include the real estate that we had as well. So just with the bank alone, there was about a little over $5 million in debt that was on the line to continue to scale up and grow Dynamic Discs through the rapid growth period of time.
So when you were doing that, obviously there were setbacks. You guys came out with shoes that weren't the best thing, but like, I mean, that's part of like you being successful, is trying things that didn't work and then also trying things that worked incredibly.
Mm-hmm.
What were some of the steps that you took as not only a disc golfer, but a businessman, to go, okay, like know when to stop, know when to hold him, know when to fold him, because like obviously there was a ESP willing to give you money, and made obviously the investment, it wasn't coming out of your pocket to go, we'll try this. At what point did you go, okay, we're going to go down this route, or okay, hey, this disc or this mold or this property or whatever isn't working? Like, how were you able to like compartmentalize what was working and what wasn't, even with that money at your fingertips?
Oh boy, well, there's a lot to that, and ultimately, part of that's having a good team together to help make decisions and help process things, run some numbers. I guess at some point we kind of realized that there's really only so many things you can do, and we really need to focus on core products. Kind of had a couple sayings for a while. If it's not we're poor. It's not core. If it's not core, we're poor.
Yeah.
And yeah, we did dabble into shoes and realized that was a big mistake. And we dabbled into some other products that really weren't core products, and they were, I guess you could say, learning lessons for us to realize that, we need to be focused on discs. We need to be focused on bags. We need to be focused on baskets, apparel, growing the brand. While shoes was a part of that, and while it was something that a lot of people seemed to be asking for, it's a really tough market, and ultimately we decided that let's let the shoe experts.
Yeah, let's let Nike create shoes. But also, I mean, what you just said, like, I think that you went the other route of then finding a water bottle and just putting your print on it. You weren't trying to reinvent the water bottle game. Like the stools, you got a camp time stool, and you put your sticker on it. I think that's where you did a really good job. Some people might not like the aspect of like, oh, well, he just like stamps, his product on whatever. But at the end of the day, I think that's where you found wild success, is you didn't try to reinvent the wheel everywhere you went. You were like, oh, hey, this water bottle works really nice at keeping this cold. We're gonna put this in here, and I think that's where you maybe learned from that shoe thing. And this guy's the mayor of the town. That's why we're driving the golf cart around, because there's no rules for him. So we know everybody. But so I think that's like something that I saw about you, and like I've always respected your business sense, whether you were sponsoring me or not, or what you've done for the sport. And I think that you've always done a good job of like being able to pivot and create something different, and also like be willing to just throw your sticker on a camp time stool and sell it for $35 and call it okay, instead of trying to make your own stuff.
Well said. So right here we're just we're pulling up to the post office, and there were early on didn't have pickup from the house, and a good day of business was measured whether I had to take a bad day of business was taking the moped to the post office. A good day of business was if I had to take the '94 Ford Explorer here to the back docks at the United States Postal Office, and it was an exciting time when I got to have to drop off here at the back door. And
another person.
Definitely, that's actually, I remember anyway, yeah, it's thankfully now the orders get picked up at Dynamic Discs, at Dynamic Discs headquarters. And you know, what started out as you know, a good day being 10, 20, 30 orders, we grew that to yeah, I know one of our all-time highs that we had was signing Ricky Wysocki, where we had over 4,500 orders placed in the matter of really just a couple hours. So,
really? Wow, that's pretty impressive. From, I mean, 4,500, selling 4,500 of anything is really good.
That's 4,500 orders.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I might have been ordering 3 things, or did they order any of those shoes?
Those were discontinued.
Neosho, what does that mean to you?
So we're getting ready to roll up to the old 320 Neosho, which is where that first order of discs, 100 discs from Discraft, about an $800 investment to start that eBay store, and to sell some disc golf products to my football buddies and my track teammates. And anyway, yeah, 320 Neosho here. You can see that, we'll just say that skyscraper of a house. Right there on that right attic window is actually, my room was the attic, because nobody in the house wanted to walk up all those stairs, but I didn't mind it. Thankfully, it was a lot of space up there, where the first 2 shelving units for the Dynamic Discs Discraft order fit right there in that nook in the window. And yeah, started in the attic, which then kind of ventured down into the basement for some of the custom dies. And 320 Neosho
have you ever
still standing today. This used to actually be a bar next door called the Sidetrack Saloon. So we would
get sidetracked there.
Go get sidetracked there, play some shuffleboard, drink a couple cold beverages.
Is there any part of you that wants to like own that place? Or do you already own it?
No, I don't. It did go up for sale a while ago. Decided that wasn't a great idea. I did actually seriously consider the second house, which we're going to go to as we keep rolling through Emporia. So after got out of college and needed to start growing up, I ended up moving to a different house, which just so happened to be the backyard being Hammond Park, which back then in 2006, 2007, there was no disc golf course at Hammond Park. And so some of my buddies and I, we would set up our own disc golf course, and of course the loser of the hole had to go move the basket to the...
you didn't want to lose the hole.
Right, correct. And but ultimately the Dynamic Disc second house was in the basement of I'm going to say 1523 Center Street. I don't know if that's going to be right. We'll find out soon. All right, so I think I see 15th Street. I'm thinking I might be right on the 1523 Neosho, or 1523 Center Street. So this is the second house for Dynamic Discs, where Dynamic Discs was located. Overtook the basement. Boom!
You were right.
Nailed it. And so as you can see, a beautiful veteran basket here. Actually, these are Patriot baskets at Hammond Park. There is a permanent 9-hole disc golf course at Hammond Park, and it is actually our busiest disc golf course in Emporia, because it's a 9-hole, it's beginner friendly, and it's really quick and easy to play around. There's a lot of shade, and it's just centrally located in a really good part of Emporia. So yeah, this is Dynamic Discs house number 2, and it didn't take very long until felt like we outgrew the basement there, and ended up moving to the other side of town, which we're not going to make it to because that's, instead of a 2-minute golf cart ride, that's actually like
not
a,
as much, you're not
that's
enough
like
for the
a,
mayor
that's
to
like
go
a,
that
that's
far.
a, well, we can go that far, but that's a 10-minute drive, which is a big commitment,
Okay.
a big drive in Emporia. But ended up moving to a different house in town where Dynamic Discs overtook that entire basement. And then about a year after that, ended up buying a house, my first house with my girlfriend and fiance at the time. And that house was actually purchased specifically with a basement in mind to continue to grow Dynamic Discs.
So how many basements was Dynamic Discs or attics before it became into like a warehouse?
So we got the 320 Neosho, the first house. We got the second house here on, we'll say at Hammond Park, the third house on Pheasant Ridge, fourth house being the actual home we purchased on Marco Court. And then finally, about a year into that, my wife said, "This is enough. I'm kicking you guys out. It's time for you and
Your friends to get out of this house."
Yes, because it was some guys you still know, Clay Hauser,
Oh yeah.
Chris Wiggins, Adam Searle, three really key guys that really grew Dynamic Discs from a little eBay operation into a much larger operation, as a lot of people know it today. And yeah, there was just too much activity, too many people wanting to come by and buy discs
Yeah.
on a daily
Well,
basis.
at that point, had you like had Macbeth and them on the team? Like, are we to 2012 yet?
We're not to 2012 yet. No, that's
Okay.
that was just 2009.
Oh wow, so we still have a ways to go.
We do.
Okay,
Where do you want to go next?
Wherever you're taking me. But one thing I do want to ask you, basket conversation. There's one here, Patriot versus veteran. I honestly guess I don't know the difference, because if someone said $1,000, what's that? I'd say a veteran. But like when it comes to baskets, and now you're obviously less involved in the DD operations and the day-to-day stuff. Like when you guys created the basket, what made you guys choose stainless steel? For my first question. And
Yep. So great question on that. And so and that was something we debated long and hard about. But we were sold on the fact that stainless steel is a higher quality product. The chains are actually heavier. I think they look better.
It's shiny.
They do actually.
Yeah.
They look better. They actually sound better. I think the
tinny, yeah.
They sound really good. And so we felt like, man, what a way for our product to actually stand out. And kind of what we ended up finding out after time is that people, players, yourself being one of them, I'm sure, I know.
But I voiced it to you.
Yes, actually, the chains do seem a little bit slicker, and they
react different.
and actually the hot dip galvanized chain, it's cheaper, and it seems to grab the discs a little bit better. And what we ended up finding out is that people don't really seem to care. They just want to get a good quality basket, and if they don't really know about the chains.
Yeah, they want it to catch.
Yeah.
And they want to hit the thing and it go
Yeah.
in the bottom of the basket, not on the ground. But the other thing I'm going to ask you, like, as being an owner, and obviously I don't get to do this with every person that owns a company or did own or whatever, so I want to ask you, like, when it comes to, like, Music City Open, for example, a couple weeks ago, they used your guys' target. They used the stainless steel version, and they didn't have them installed correctly, so the chains didn't hang into the basket as they should. They were, just barely set into the chain. So the basket wasn't reacting how it was supposed to. And they used a model from, I think, 2021. So not the newest, best model that you guys realized, the chains with galvanized or catch better or whatever it might be, and you guys made your changes. As an owner, is there any part of you that's like bothered by people misusing your product on the Disc Golf Pro Tour? And then people, of course, saying, "Oh, Dynamic Disc sucks," or "The Dynamic Disc baskets suck," or "These guys are idiots." And there's the players on the course, they're like, "This sucks." I mean, I had 2 putts the first round, literally hit dead center and spit out. And it's like on that basket right there with the galvanized chains, it wouldn't have done that. So, of course, for me, it's like, every dollar now is hundreds of dollars. It's not just like, "Oh, big deal, I'm playing for fun." It hurts when it hits great and spits out. And it hurts the image of the company. It hurts, the viewership. It hurts a lot of things. People don't want to see that happen. As you being, obviously the founder of this company and seeing that happen, and obviously maybe you don't read the comments, but they're out there. I've said it to you. I walked off a DDO 2 years ago straight to you and said, "Hey man, like, can we do something about these? Because this is like unacceptable." But I didn't complain on. People think I just complain on Twitter, but I went straight to you and said, "Hey, man, like friend to friend, like this needs to be better." And you said, "Yeah, like I see your point." But like as that person, how does it? Do you wish that everyone get the 2024 version of the Veteran? Do you? What do you think? Like how will it make you feel best about people using your product and like making sure they're using it correctly?
Well, before I get into that, I've got to make you do 10 push-ups because you said DDO instead of Dynamic Discs Open, and so that is going to have me taking this camera and having you do, 10 push-ups. Yep.
There's 10, but I'll give you a few more.
Okay, yeah, let's keep going. Let's keep going.
I've complained to you enough.
Let's keep going. Look, I think that was 20. Yeah, you definitely said you misused it a little bit ago.
Okay, Dynamic Disc Open.
We definitely say Dynamic Discs Open. We don't say DDO, and part of the reason that that's important is because on the radio in Emporia, if you know somebody that doesn't know about disc golf hears DDO, come out to the DDO this weekend. What's DDO? But if you hear Dynamic Disc Open, you think disc golf tournament. Boom, and obviously, the marketing and name brand recognition, we want to make sure that's there. Back to your question. Thanks for those push-ups. Are you breathing hard?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Are you breathing hard?
It's a lot of weight to push up and down.
So that's I don't know, a sensitive topic for sure. And obviously we want the best products out there. And I would say it's our responsibility to make sure the course that's going to utilize our baskets has the most updated version that has seen results out there on tour. One of the and it's it just so happens to be whenever it's caught on camera or whenever it's caught on a Disc Golf Pro Tour event, it's the most talked about period. And those baskets, in a lot of regards, they catch 99.5% of the putts that go in there, but it just so happens to be that it costs people money.
I think that, like I said,
there's not a perfect basket. There's not a perfect basket out there. I know there's some that are preferred over others.
No, I don't think there is a perfect basket. I think we're playing it. I talked to Eric about this today. We play an imperfect game. You're throwing a round thing into a round thing with chains. There's wind. You can hit a perfect basket if there's a such thing, at a perfect angle.
Yeah.
And if it goes like this and the headwind blows it out, it blows it out. Like there's nothing you can do. But I think that, just like you said about brand recognition and like DDO, Dynamic Disc Open, if you are playing and you take someone who's never seen the game before and they hit a dead center putt and it spits out, you have to explain them why that doesn't count. That's part of it too. It's like, oh, hey, watch this. Well, why didn't that count? It's like, that's like swishing it in basketball and being like, oh, well, your swish didn't count because it didn't count. So I think that there's part of it too that like the reason it gets amplified when we do it is because, Gannon was on the course, like, these baskets, like screamed it on live, like these baskets suck. Which like no one wants to get spit out, so it's a reasonable reaction. But Gannon also putts at 55 miles. Gannon probably putts it harder than you throw it, so it makes it tough. But overall, I'm glad to hear your perspective, and and like you said, I'm glad that you said, oh hey, we should take some initiative or whatever, and be like, hey, do you guys have the newest updated thing? Like, do we need to send you 18 new tops? Like, whatever it might be in order to get the course set up and the standards of the target, how it was designed to be used, and all that. It looks like the same thing like golf, right? If you set the golf cup this far in the ground, the ball is just going to bounce out every time. It's not a cup problem, it's sometimes just an installation problem. So I think for like at Music City Open, for example, I think that wasn't the basket problem, it was just installed, it wasn't the correct configuration to work at its best.
Yeah, I don't know all the things on here, but I figured if I own a golf course, I probably should own a golf cart, so.
Yeah, this light's flashing, and we both looked at each other, and he's like, well, I don't know. I'm like, well, but
faulty.
You better call the guy. I know you know him. So are you going to run for mayor one day of this town? Or you already are? You have to have all the keys to the city.
Not the mayor, no.
What are you going to be, the president? We're going to get hit by a school bus. It's going to be the end of our life right here. This is going to be...
All right, so we are just cruising back, kind of in between some of the places we've been. We're going to cruise to, once we got kicked out of that Marco courthouse, once Wendy, my wife, had said, "This is enough. It's time to find a place." Actually, I'm skipping a place because we got that little 1,500 square foot office space there that we operated out of for just about a year, and we outgrew that space. And thankfully, there was a place in downtown Emporia on Commercial Street that was.
You need a neck brace for this road.
This is good old.
Someone rode their horse and buggy across this thing.
Truly. Thankfully, there was a place downtown Emporia that was going out of business, shutting the storefront down, needed to lease the building or sell the building and sell a lot of the store fixtures. And timing was just perfect for dynamic discs. Loved the space. It was way more than we needed at about 6,000 square feet at the time, but figured what the heck. Got kind of a lease agreement with the first right to purchase, and we're going to be there here in just a couple seconds. So here we are, rolling up to Dynamic Discs, 912 Commercial Street, where we got kicked out of the house. Amazingly enough, Dynamic Discs is actually still here today. The operation has changed quite a bit throughout the last decade or so, but today it is the pro shop in Emporia that is specifically geared towards being a dedicated pro shop only. So we actually used to ship online orders out of here up until just a couple of years ago. It was actually that time when Ricky Wysocki signed with us, and we had over 4,500 orders that day. We were actually shipping all those orders out of here, and what a train wreck that was to get all the product from
HQ,
the warehouse headquarters building to over here. And so we realized that, as the e-com business continues to grow and scale up, that we really need to have all that facilitated out of our warehouse headquarters facility.
Well, as you said, scale up. I just want to get your take on this. Well, COVID, boom. 2021, boom. Obviously, 2024, not so good. What do you think we need to do to get back going in the positive direction?
Well, I think that our society needs a more stable economy that gives more people confidence. But we really need to be promoting more just what a great sport disc golf is. There's so many great aspects and features to it. I just don't think we're on TV enough. I think that a lot of people see stuff on television, on ESPN, on Fox Sports, on any of the sports channels, and look, pickleball. Every time I flip through the channels now, I see pickleball. Look where pickleball's at.
Yeah.
How many times have you flipped through the channels are you seeing disc golf?
Never.
So we made a big effort at the 2020 Dynamic Disc Open, getting the Dynamic Disc Open on CBS Sports Network. Made a big commitment there to put that on television. That was just one small step, but there was then more that piqued ESPN's interest in disc golf, and I know that later that year there was some more disc golf on ESPN, and really it feels like since then, or that next year there was a little bit more disc golf, but since then I feel like there hasn't really been a whole lot of disc golf.
Fallen off, yeah.
There's a lot of coverage on Disc Golf Network, there's a lot of coverage on YouTube, but there's no coverage on national television, and so to get exposed to disc golf, you don't see it in that fashion. That's not the way everybody sees things, but I certainly think that that's a big deal, and we need to be shining more of a spotlight on what a professional sport this is. This can be a career. These are professional athletes that are making real money to tour the country, do what you love, and I think that there will be a time where disc golf really gets back up on the growth trend. We just had so much explosive growth during the COVID that it's to be expected, and I think anything outdoor recreation except pickleball kind of saw that. So yeah,
you're building indoor pickleball now.
Hey, there's Trace.
There's nice people here.
How are you guys?
Oh, great.
So yeah, here's the Dynamic Disc Pro Shop today. We've got all what we consider to be the relevant brands for for this region. That doesn't necessarily mean we have every brand. That just means that we have the brands that we find and we believe are the most relevant, prominent in this Midwest region. And so I think it's a great pro shop. It's one of the biggest.
You switched, right? You used to only do DD, correct?
All of disc golf. Yes, we were only doing Dynamic, Latitude,
the Trilogy,
West Side, the Trilogy, Hand-Eye Supply, and Huck Lab on some of the products. But here in the last year, as we converted into a pro shop, we knew that in order to really facilitate all of the disc golf needs in the area, that we wanted to have all the different brands. So we've got a great practice area as well. We've got Tech Disc that's here on the monitor, which is.
So are you allowed to rent this out, or it's free use, or how does this area work for people if they wanted to come here and check it out?
Yeah, let's say you use Tech Disc. Trace, the pro shop manager. A lot of people know Trace.
From the auction page.
Drew, nice to meet you.
DD Auctions page. Tech Disc is really impressive on what it can do.
What's your best?
Oh, I'm probably about 12 mile an hour, Drew.
Your golf cart's faster than your throw?
I'm sure Trace could probably pull my winter throw up, but.
Oh, I do remember that too. Yeah, that was a piece of history. Of course, we have.
Okay, Drew, don't throw your back out.
Okay.
Don't throw your back out.
What's fast on this thing?
Cade, come on through. Cade,
70.
Cade's on the Emporia State University disc golf team, which
Eric McCabe's your coach.
Something like that.
That's sweet. 72. I could do faster than that.
All right, here we go.
I'm in my socks. Sure.
Oh, that definitely had some more zip to it. 77. Oh, 73. Come on, you got more than that.
That's all I got. We need to get Rusco on a Hugh Frisbin video.
Oh, 37. 37. Oh,
32. That's all I got, man. As fast as it goes. I couldn't even break the speed limit in a school zone.
20's our school zone speed limit. Thanks, fellas.
Later, guys.
We're gonna keep touring. So then we usually got the Disc Golf Network coverage on.
Oh, there's Ricky. Look at. Oh man, hold on. Ka-chow. All right.
Oh,
Emporia. We got an Emporia disc. This place is awesome. This guy right here, he's done a lot of great stuff for our sport. So I greatly appreciate him. Sometimes I give him a tough time, but it's only because I want it to be better and I love him.
and I even appreciate you, Drew.
But this guy really has done a lot for growing the game, and he cares. That's the thing. This isn't just a business, and this isn't just like a money grab. This isn't just like, oh, hey, I see a way to make a living. He cares about disc golf, and he wants it to be better and wants it to grow, and sponsors players and sponsors events and wants it to be on TV, and does a lot of great stuff to help push the game forward, which is what's needed. People like you is the reason that the game is growing. Do you own the chocolate factory over here yet?
No. But one of the things that when you come to Emporia, you recognize there's just baskets everywhere. Almost every school has baskets. Almost every fraternity, sorority house, local businesses. You can see the basket that's right over there behind the. Well, it should say I Love Emporia, but it says Love Emporia. So you can go over there and practice your putt, and then actually across the street over here, I own that lot as well as the two of those four buildings. And if weather holds up on Thursday and Friday, that's actually going to get resurfaced, and we're setting up the downtown Emporia food truck plaza that's going to have food trucks, going to have a concert stage, and just try to bring a more festive atmosphere to downtown Emporia. And so hopefully for the block party for the Dynamic Disc Open, there will be activity there. It was supposed to get resurfaced well before now, but just like everything in construction, it always takes longer than it's supposed to.
And by the way, it's definitely not the DDO, it's the Dynamic Disc Open.
Hey! Things actually that I think is probably a lot of people don't know about is the city of Emporia just in the last 6-ish months supported. I was pushing to have a full-time disc golf course superintendent for the public disc golf courses in Emporia, and the city of Emporia did make the decision to finally support that, and that's actually was an initiative that Doug Bjerkes and I were pushing forward with years ago, but it just never came to fruition.
I met him today.
Good.
He was at Peter Pan.
Team Estonia in the house. But that used to be my Airbnb. But
wait, you sold that place?
I did sell it.
Really?
Yep. I was trying to get one more thing off my plate.
Nice. How'd that go? Oh, I sold the Dinker house across the street, but then I bought the 50-pound bass that was right across the street from there. Yeah, one more thing off my plate, dude.
I missed my turn.
Yeah. Oh, you missed the biggest thing in Emporia that you happen to own. Do you own the two biggest pieces of real estate here? The HQ and this?
Technically, the House of Discs owns.
You did own it prior.
So, but I have a percentage of ownership of that in some regards. So kind of a weird way of saying that, but.
So pretty much this guy is, everyone in this whole town, if I ever get pulled over in Emporia, I'm just gonna say, hey, I filmed a video with Jimmy Rusco one time, like, they're gonna make, actually, here's a get out of jail free card.
It doesn't work that way, but.
Yes, it does. I'm sure your nieces and nephews love being a Rusco. All right, new truck. When I joined the team, Jeremy had, what year was that thing?
Are you talking the 94 Explorer?
No.
I did have the second vehicle.
The F-150.
The F-150, 2014.
Okay, so I joined the team 2016, so it's pretty new, and obviously the company is doing good, and every time I see Jeremy, I'm like, hey, when are you gonna get a new truck? Like, I love cars, so inherently if I made my first $26, I'd try to spend it all on a car. And so Jeremy was like, oh, no, like, I'm gonna have this truck till it explodes. I drove my 94 Ford Explorer until it blew up. And then, so I saw him this week, brand new truck. What do you have to say about this thing?
It's my third personal vehicle. And Wendy got it for me for my 40th birthday.
She just showed up at home with it?
It was parked in the garage.
Did you cry a little bit?
With the bow tie thing on it.
Oh! Hey, if you guys are looking for a wife, try to find one like Wendy. She's a superstar. Mom, freaking super athlete, deals with this guy. Get yourself a Wendy, and you might come home to a new car. So, what does Wendy do for work?
Well, Wendy is retired, stay-at-home mom right now. She was a nuclear chemist at the nuclear power plant, Wolf Creek, for 13 years, and just we'll just say retired, at least for the time being, to be a mom and take care of the business that I need her to, we'll say, take care of when I'm doing.
Well, that's good.
Doing work things.
I'm sure that she could probably stay retired until eternity ends, and everyone will be fine.
She's got plenty to do every day. It's every mom or dad that's out there knows what kind of commitment it is.
So disc golf aside, tell us about dad life, family life. I mean, obviously your parents live here in Emporia. Tell us a little bit about that and how much do you enjoy having them close, and the life of being a dad and an entrepreneur and all that stuff.
So one of the things that's really special to me about disc golf is that it truly brought my family together. My brother was living out in Charlotte, North Carolina, and he had moved out there to go play college baseball at UNC Charlotte, and ended up staying out there for I think 12, 13 years. And my parents were in Great Bend, Kansas, which was our hometown, and had just bought their kind of dream retirement home about a year prior to me hiring my brother to be our director of sales at Dynamic Discs. And so Jamie moves to Emporia. So my parents, of course, why would they stay in Great Bend? And so they moved to Emporia as well. And one of the great things about Emporia is that as we've been in the car for 1.5 minutes here, we're rolling up here at Jones Park, where there's two great park-style disc golf courses that are open to the public, obviously. And everything in Emporia is like an 8-minute drive. They just doing a lot of construction work here, unfortunately, of course, just in time for the tournament, but things are getting cleared out. And so anyway, yeah, I'm 3.5 years into fatherhood now. That definitely changes your perspective on life. It's really incredible. It was actually kind of a blessing in some regards for that to happen during the COVID crazy era, because I was so used to traveling out on the disc golf tour, seeing you every other weekend.
You saw me too much, probably.
And once the pandemic hit, obviously everything shut down, at least for a certain period of time, and I couldn't go anywhere. And actually, spending time with my family was amazing. And I actually, as the world started to open back up again, I didn't really have much of a desire to travel like I was. And that's I'm kind of finally, I actually did my first disc golf trip to get out to the 25th United States Disc Golf Championship just last October.
Pretty amazing event, huh?
And it was, just a hands down incredible event. They set the bar at really the highest level. And it was, the amazing thing about getting back out there is I had not been out there to Charlotte since 2012, when the Professional Amateur World Championships were out there. And then we ran the Carolina Clash, the Charlotte Amateur Championships, and we actually were involved with the United States Disc Golf Championship as well. We were running Monday qualifying. We ran the doubles event to help. We were selling Innova product as Dynamic Disc at that time. We weren't competitors.
Oh, yeah.
And viewed more as a tournament directing organization. And so Innova, Jonathan Poole, allowed us to kind of take some of that lifting off of their shoulders. And it was just a few months after the United States Disc Golf Championship that Dynamic Discs emerged and evolved as a disc golf manufacturer. And that relationship started because Dynamic Discs was starting to sell Latitude 64 discs, Westside discs, and becoming one of their more prominent retailers for Latitude and Westside discs at the time. The ownership of Latitude 64, Svante, David, Thomas, and Johan, they were actually all out at the Professional World Championships in Charlotte, and I played a round of disc golf with Svante. And Dynamic Disc at the time had 2 branded RVs out at the tournament, had Paul Macbeth,
who just won the World.
Who won the World Championships that year wearing Dynamic Disc, had Paige Pierce, Katrina Allen, Eric McCabe, the list goes on of the top touring professionals. They were so supportive of Dynamic Discs and were proud to wear the Dynamic Disc logo in addition to their main manufacturer logo or brand. And so anyway, Svante's like, why is Dynamic Disc not a manufacturer? And I said, well, we don't know how to make discs. And he said, well, we do.
Yeah. Yeah, that's opportunities like that just kind of pop out of places sometimes and you don't expect them, and that's life. That's a business in a nutshell.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, one day you're like, oh, I'm going to do this out of my attic, and then the next day it's your basement, and then the next day it's how big is the HQ over here? How many square feet?
80,000 square feet.
80,000 square feet. And it's the entrance to that place is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. Like, you guys are going to see it in a second, but like when I walked in there, I was genuinely like impressed with how incredible it was for it just being a disc golf headquarters. Like, I've been to Innova 1,000 times. I've been, to a lot of headquarters. And going to this place and walking in the front door, you feel like you're at a 5-star hotel or something. Like, there's a waterfall and there's a bunch of it's very inviting and welcoming. It's like painted nice and white. Like, it just looks really nice. And I remember being in there and thinking, like, this is why this guy here is who he is, because he cares about the fine details. He cares about if you go in there, even if it's only for 5 seconds, and it makes an impression on you. Because last year I was only in there for 3 minutes. You and I had a conversation and I left, and I absolutely loved it. Like, I still remember that place to this day. And I think that's something you've done with Champions Landing as well, which we're going to go check out. is that like you walk down those stairs and you feel like you're in like an actual like sports bar or an actual like place. It's not just like a disc golf hangout. You know, I think that you create this like level of excellence in a way to where you demand that whatever you're involved in is going to be really good. And like, especially when it comes to like the buildings and all this kind of stuff, where the stuff that you put out there is top notch when it comes to quality and something you would expect from a Fortune 500 company.
Let's not go that far, but
Well, it's true.
I appreciate what you're saying there, Drew. And I mean that really was one of the important things that we scaled up so much and grew so much over the pandemic, and just had a lot of success, and just very fortunate on the timing of growing out of our old building, needing more space, and being able to, I really wanted to have a work environment where the entire staff would be proud to come in every day to work and feel energized and want to be a part of everything that's going on. And I think that we were able to create that with the new Dynamic Discs headquarters building. I think the purchase price was right around, and it was built in like the 1980s, so a little bit of an outdated warehouse that was heavy duty industrial manufacturing that was going on in there. So it was really a dirty work environment because that's just the line of work that it was. And it used to be called Detroit Diesel. DD. So kind of ironic, and really one of the prominent employers in Emporia for a little over 40 years. And so it was kind of sad to see, it was sad to see that operation shut down and get phased out to different parts of the country where they have other plants. But because of the success during and the growth, we were able to make a big investment into the building. And so we actually spent more money on the remodel and the build out and all of everything that went into the
So if I can ask this, from before you touched it to after it was done, how much did you spend?
I think it was like $1.8 million on.
So like 800 on buying it, and then like $1 million on fixing it?
1.6-ish on the purchase price, 1.8 additional on the.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah, we built.
Hey, can I borrow $20?
Oh.
I'll give it back right away.
Okay, so
I just want to hold it.
So we're getting ready to pull up to.
I remember this place. This is where we did like the Emporia Gazette thing when I joined the team.
So yeah, this is the Dynamic Discs. Once we outgrew the 912 Commercial Street Dynamic Discs operation, we ended up finding out about this place, which was basically Uncle Bud. I call him Uncle Bud because he was so helpful in what we were doing. But this place actually looked almost, I mean, it was Uncle Bud's storage shed, and he had his boat, his trucks, his toys, all in here, and he was willing to lease it out. And so we actually took up half of the building. It was way more space than we needed at the time. This would have been in October, November of 2013, and took up half the building. And a little over a year later, we actually, surprise, surprise, once again, out of space, ended up purchasing the entire building from Uncle Bud and expanding into all 20,000 square feet. And then it actually wasn't too much longer, and we ran out of space again and had to start leasing space about 5,000 square feet across the street to continue to facilitate that growth.
Did you sell that now? Back to Uncle Bud?
No, actually, the city of Emporia was so amazingly, supportive in how we were doing things. So actually, the city of Emporia bought that to help us be able to make just an easy decision on purchasing this our new facility that we're driving to right now, which we're obviously
right around the corner.
In eyesight.
You could see it from here.
They did. The city of Emporia knew there would be a quick buyer on it, so they were just doing that to be very, very supportive in the process. And the Kansas Department of Wildlife and Parks is who is in that building right now, and Yeah, we just turned the corner and we are pulling up to the Dynamic Disc headquarters building, which in today's state is now the North America headquarters for House of Discs, which includes 7 disc golf brands, being Dynamic Discs, Latitude 64, and Discmania as the 3 powerhouse brands, and then the other 4 kind of niche brands are Westside Discs, Castoplast, Hand-Eye Supply, and Huck Lab. And in addition to that, there's also the gaming company Spin-Off Games, which is what most of you guys know as Disc Golf Alley.
Oh, okay. Dude, I was like, are you about to break news on this channel right now? I was like, you telling me something I'd never heard about? I thought you were just gonna.
You got me talking too much.
I thought you were just gonna park right in the lobby here.
So, yeah. So this place is our North America headquarters, and let's go take a look. So yeah, here we are in the Dynamic Disc / House of Disc North America lobby entrance headquarters. We're just getting everything, we'll say, consolidated with all of the 7 disc golf brands that are underneath of our umbrella. So I'm sure there will be more updates as we keep doing that. We do have the museum area in here, which has some of the kind of the history moments of mostly focused on Dynamic Discs, Latitude 64, and Westside, those beautiful shoes.
My goodness.
That you absolutely love. Aren't those things sweet? Ricky's 2022 Dynamic Disc Open Glass Blown Open Trophy. Glass Blown Trophy, not Glass Blown Open, but yeah, a lot of cool stuff in here. This is actually my first disc golf trophy, my first disc golf win, 2005 Glass Blown Open, Eric McCabe, which Dynamic Disc started in 2005. Eric McCabe had convinced me to play in the Glass Blown Open a couple days prior to the tournament, and I actually ended up winning in the intermediate division. It was a big moment for me. Definitely fueled the fire on wanting to be a really competitive disc golfer. Yeah, this
is this from Pete Cashin?
That is from Pete Cashin. Frisbee's Pie Safe. This is most of the Frisbee Pie cases that are out there are much shorter, from my understanding, and this is a true gem. And it's been really cool for Pete to contribute this to the museum. Currently,
Discs with a K.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things about. Those were the early logo concepts from July of 2006. Eric McCabe had said, hey, I'd be happy to put a Dynamic Disc logo on the Glass Blown Open tournament shirt if you really at no charge, because he knew I would probably help out in some way, shape, or form. And he suggested that get that logo created, and got that logo created. Obviously, we had to make a couple adjustments to it, but it's very, I think it's one of the best logos in all of disc golf still today. So
I think you guys' logo is really cool. I couldn't have imagined it being any of the other logos.
Agreed. So we're getting ready to go into the media wing. Drew, if you keep practicing hard and doing a stellar job, maybe one of these days you can join the House of Discs media team. We got a lot of different brands that you could maybe showcase for.
That's perfect. Too bad when I was on DD, I wasn't doing so much media.
Oh, there's probably a couple of, at least a familiar face with Anthony. Got Jacob, which is actually prefers to be called Temp. We call them Temp because 10 years ago he started as a temporary employee at Dynamic. Our brand manager, Mark Estrada, new to the team. Beautiful setup here that is actually the first I've seen. I'm guessing Mark was probably driving that a little bit. So yeah, this is the media wing that's kind of off the warehouse floor. So they're their own little team organization back in here, and there's never a dull moment in the media department. So yeah, just walking in on the warehouse floor for House of Disc. We got no shortage of discs, bags, basket, anything, everything disc golf, and we do have our office space for essentially the support to keep the organization going. So basically, majority of the offices are right here, just off the floor. So I don't have the exact discount anymore, but I'm sure that we're somewhere over probably around 1.5 million discs that are.
Did you say 1.5 million?
1.5 million probably that are in here. Got the current order fulfillment. So actually, we probably can't put all that on. I don't know. I'm just joking.
I don't know. Hey, you pointed at it. I didn't know that was even up there. Hey, look, it's a little page. We gotta say hi to Edson while we're in here.
Yeah, let's go track him down. So there's, I don't know if we probably don't want to keep walking, but it keeps going, and that's more of the big box fulfillment that's down there. And so actually that blue pallet that's there is going to Walmart. So we're scaling up and doing more things with Walmart, which I know some people can criticize that, but for us, it's an important sales channel because a lot of beginner disc golfers might be buying their first disc golf disc at a Walmart location and catching the bug, just like
who doesn't shop at Walmart?
That's right.
Oh, you probably don't. You go to Target.
Hey, we don't have Target. So yeah, a lot of our big box fulfillment happens down there. Our custom stamping, custom printing operations.
Do you guys still have Dymax?
Yeah, we sure do.
Does Trevor still run it?
Trevor does not anymore. He's at a different printing.
Okay.
Actually, one of the companies that does like our T-sign printing.
Holy crap! This just keeps going.
Yeah.
Dude, what is happening?
So there's the.
This is my favorite part of the whole place. Just the biggest American flag you've ever seen. Last time I was in here, I said the same thing to you. I was like, dude, when you showed me this last time, I was like, I want that. Where I'd put it,
Yep.
I don't own anything big enough to...
Dymax is up there, but it's off limits.
It's off limits now?
Yep.
What happened?
We can't be showing our trade secrets.
I used to go in there.
We can't be showing our trade secrets.
Dude, come on.
Maybe someday you'll get your credentials back, Drew.
Not now that you have no say so.
So I know this be kind of a surprise for a lot of people, but all the boxes for the longest time were Latitude, Westside, Dynamic, the trilogy, and under today's new House of Discs ownership, you also see Discmania boxes and Castoplast and Hand-Eye Supply, and yeah, a lot of different things going on here. It's definitely an exciting time to be here.
Dude, I literally told him that I had to see you while I was here.
What's up, brother?
How are you?
Good, man. You doing all right?
Yeah, McCabe said you're in charge of the whole place now.
McCabe lied to you. What are we on video for?
He's famous.
Oh, he's famous. Yeah, you're famous.
No.
I just work here.
Dude, I was asking McCabe about you today.
Oh, up here in the upper office space, that used to be my office, which now it's David Hine, our new CEO, which we just crossed paths with just a minute ago. We've got Clay Hauser, Director of IT, longest tenure. One of those ones that I mentioned earlier that's been around for, 16
Dude,
years.
another Jeremy Rusco office?
I do still have an office. Hopefully I keep it for
at least 10 more minutes.
Yeah, I might be getting the
eviction notice.
There was Chris's office. You just met him. There's my brother, Director of Sales, Garrison, Global Purchasing, Product something, Manager, and then I don't know. One of my maybe more favorite rooms is the conference room in here, which, like you were mentioning, vibrant, bright, but then being able to walk out, get some fresh air, and 9-hole disc golf course out there. If Emporia is going to be a disc golf destination and people are going to come here to take tours, we felt like we needed to have a disc golf course on the property. Hey, cool, the Natty. Jason Curl just rolling up.
Oh, there we go.
More offices. So here we are rolling up. If we're gonna go to almost every place, we might as well not forget the first place we got kicked out of the house from. So I think this was 2918 West Highway 50. 2918 West Highway 50. So this was the first commercial space for dynamic discs. It was about 1,500 square feet, and I thought it was going to be all that we needed for quite some time. And
now the lobby at the HQ is bigger than the museum's bigger than
yeah. So we outgrew that space, started renting space next door, and then more space next door. And then we.
So, Rusco'S advice for an up-and-coming disc golf company is when you have 8 discs and you've sold nothing yet, get an 80,000 square foot warehouse.
No.
And just hope you grow into it.
No.
That's what he's teaching you. Just believe in yourself, bet on yourself, and just go straight for a Walmart. Have 8 shirts.
You know, the Godfather, Pete Cashin, told me, he tells me all kinds of business advice, but one thing is that hope is not a strategy. And so sometimes there is, though. You know, if you build it, they will come. That's maybe the Champions Landing mindset, mentality. It obviously was already built, but it was not an open and welcoming place for anybody but the, Emporia Country Club members for the last 113 years. And so, a lot of things have progressed and changed here in just the last couple of years. Throughout the end of the pandemic, some venture capitalists became interested in investing and getting involved in disc golf, and Latitude 64 was very motivated and interested, and so they even made that decision that they were going to sell to the venture capitalists. And with as closely as tied as Dynamic, Latitude, and Westside were together, with Dynamic and Latitude equally owning Westside discs, I knew there was going to be, had I not made the decision to go down the path of being a part of House of Discs, I thought there would be a lot of challenges and hurdles to overcome, and not that we wouldn't have found a way to overcome them over time, but it felt like the way for us to be the most successful short-term and long-term was to be a part of this disc golf powerhouse group. Now, at least that's my opinion of it, now known as House of Discs. We've got so many great brands underneath the one umbrella, and so much possibility in front of us with having all those brands, that I made that decision. And bringing in a new CEO for Dynamic, and taking that role off of me and putting me more into the founder and advisor role has given me a little bit of additional freedom, I guess you could say. And so as I had learned about the Emporia Country Club getting ready to go up for sale, they approached me. It sold a year ago, or a year and a half ago, and things weren't working out there. And so the new ownership group said that they encouraged me to be the one that would be interested in it. And I guess fast forward to February 1st, I took ownership of the property as a way to, I think, find a way to give back more to the Emporia community. It's such a great location, and it's such a pivotal spot for disc golf and disc golf events to be hosted in Emporia. And I think it's definitely a way to give back to the disc golf community as well, and shed more positive light on disc golf and the fact that disc golf and ball golf can coexist. And so, we rebranded, renamed the property Champions Landing, because the Emporia Country Club or Emporia Community Club name obviously insinuates that it's a membership-only club, and that is not what Champions Landing is. It's welcoming and inviting for all walks of life. We've got the 9-hole golf course, the 18-hole championship level disc golf course that the Dynamic Disc Open is playing on throughout this course of the week. Part of the inspiration on the name is that we've crowned a lot of disc golf world champions on the property over the last almost decade. Sorry, Drew, you got me doing a little too much talking. And so, anyway, it's certainly been a wild ride over the last couple months. I don't have any restaurant ownership experience, don't have any sort of golf course management experience, and there's a lot of different great aspects of the building. It's a big building. There's a lot of potential there. We opened up a coffee shop, Champs Coffee. We rebranded the restaurant as Champs Bar and Grill to be a sports bar type of environment, which I'm guessing we'll walk down to here shortly. And there's banquet space, event space, a lot of different things you can do.
So are you gonna tell us about the goals for this place changing in the future? Do we get to know that stuff?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Then I have another question. Since you brought up the House of Discs thing, you're however many months into the transaction. How are you, I'm just going to use the word coping with you not being in charge, you not being the final say, so maybe they're doing things that do or don't align with what you had thought. How is that kind of progressing in your mind?
Well, it's been challenging. It's been hard. It's been, I don't know, we'll say trying at times. And I think that would be for anybody that would be, we'll say, in my shoes in another.
Yeah, I mean, this guy built this thing out of an attic, and then now there's other people in charge of it. I mean, anything. I mean, people don't like when their kids leave home for college, let alone a company you built from the ground floor for, however many years, and now it's someone else's duty in a way to make sure it goes.
Yeah, and there are difficult decisions that have to be made, and in a lot of regards, not every decision made sense for Dynamic Discs in past years. There were a lot of gut feeling decisions. We didn't always have to show a profit. We usually showed a profit, but not every year. Those profit percentages were all that good. But I was hopeful and optimistic that a future year it would be more profitable. And so, as disc golf has kind of seen some of these short-term challenges as the COVID explosion is kind of calming down. It's some different things are having to happen, and I've got my a lot of attention to Champions Landing now, and that's, I guess, where we're getting ready to pull up into, and we can talk a little bit about that and see where it takes us, I guess. So here we are, Champions Landing, Champs Bar and Grill. We're kind of past the lunch rush, so it's going to look like an empty restaurant. But day in and day out here, it's been really exciting to see the number of people from the Emporia community as well as the disc golf community that are coming here to have lunch with us, have dinner with us. This place hasn't always been welcoming and inviting to the disc golf crowd. So one of the things we wanted to do was make the decor on the walls disc golf focused. And so we got a lot of inspiration from the 2022 World Championships that were hosted here, where world champions were crowned. In Emporia, we also have a really big gravel bike race that really started the gravel biking craze, much like the disc golf explosion. We'll have about 4,000 bikers in the Emporia community the first Saturday in June. We've got the helicopter in the front yard of Dynamic Disc headquarters building for when we brought Ricky Wysocki on board for the 4-year contract. And you can just continue to see more. There's when Paul Macbeth won his world title here at Champions Landing, formerly Country Club. Yeah, just trying to make this a place that's welcoming and inviting for the disc golf community. And I think that we've done a pretty good job of that. We updated all the TVs down here, trying to have more of a sports bar environment and a sports bar vibe. And then as you walk right out the back door, you're right out here on the course. And you got the iconic island hole number 16 there. We just actually cleared out some sight lines. Used to not be able to see that from this angle, but you can see it now from up here by not having as many trees in the way. And then we do have a new finishing hole number 18, and so yeah, that's kind of about it. There are some big picture plans here where there's some state of Kansas, we'll say funding opportunities through the use of a STAR bond, which is a sales tax and revenue bond that can definitely help pay for anything that's geared towards tourism and entertainment. And so we're optimistic that this whole property can really transform over the coming years through the utilization of that funding mechanism. There'd be a multi-sports indoor pickleball facility, a new clubhouse, new swimming pool, lots of money to spend on the disc golf course and the ball golf course, where it would completely change whatever we needed to change, and that is all funded through the way that tourism entertainment is drawn into Emporium. So I'm excited about the future here, and it's really.
So what are you going to do with the new pool, new building? What kind of are you thinking to make if you get the grant? What are you kind of thinking to make this place even more special?
Well, we're going to have you do the first cannonball off the diving board.
Off the top?
Off the top. Actually, that's what we should go do, is have you throw a drive off the top of the building. Beautiful view up there, and actually kind of a bonus way to play hole number 8 is from the roof of the building. Yeah.
I might not make it to the OB with that I always throw in.
Yeah, I lost track of the question. Oh, is that Ricky?
It's a helicopter. No, my question was like, what do you tennis, pickleball, a pool, what kind of like upgrades, if you get the grant, are you planning to do here? We can overlay the projection, but as you kind of just talk about it while that plays.
Yeah, so obviously when you have more stuff going on, you got to have more parking. So 2-story parking that actually is a lower level parking, so it doesn't stick out like a sore thumb. Yeah, indoor pickleball facility / multi-sport, so there could be basketball, volleyball, different sports that go on there. Restaurant space, indoor, outdoor at both of those. The world's largest disc golf basket down by the water.
Bigger than the one that's in Europe?
If it's going to be for tourism and entertainment, let's make it the biggest one that's out there, right? An amphitheater set up to bring in more music and entertainment. Yeah, updated pool, lodging for approximately 100 rooms for lodging, so that when you eat and drink too much here and have too much fun, you can just stay on the property.
Do I get dibs on one of those rooms for the dynamic disc open?
Hey, you betcha.
But this is the place now. I mean, it's not gonna ever blow your socks off, but it's
113 years old.
Yeah, it's nicer than nothing. But when this guy right here is done with it, it's gonna be money.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff to do, including on the course in itself. The course is there's lots of room for improvement out there, and I'm certainly optimistic that through that STAR bond there will be significant improvements to the course, and it's already a good disc golf course. But we got a long way to go, and certainly want to make it the disc golf version of Augusta.
Well, $1 million in a disc golf course goes a long way.
It certainly does, and I'm hoping we can get twice that.
Twice? This guy, he won't stop at 20. It needs to be 40. But either way, are we done?
I don't think I can talk anymore.
Thank you guys. If you've made it this far in the video, I greatly appreciate your guys' time. Hopefully you learned a lot about Jeremy, the journey. I think it's one of the coolest stories in disc golf, of starting something in your college attic that no one wanted to sleep in the room, and then turning it into this. So really cool story. Something I wanted to document. Hopefully be on YouTube forever. Your kids can watch it. I think it'll be a fun thing to look back on. and hopefully you're able to pull off the grants and do the stuff with this place that you want to do, and hopefully it all works out. Thank you so much for your time. I greatly appreciate you. We'll see you in the next one.